Welcome to a new episode. In this part of the series, we're going to be creating a menu for the start and restart under the condition that the car, crashes into a tree, which then does the game over. So the first thing we're going to be doing is create a new canvas. And then in that canvas, we create a new panel. As you can see here, you can shows it in the in-game screen. There's also I'm gonna show you how to do it to make it visible in VR as well. But for now, we'll just start right here. It's a lot easier that way. So yeah, if you change it to world space. Next thing we'll do is, we'll change the color of it. Next thing we'll do is add a button. We'll just call this button, size of the button, we can, let's give it 120 for height, and let's do 480 maybe, 380. Yeah, let's do 480 for width. And also change the size of the text. First we'll change it to start, play. Yeah, we'll change the font size to, let's do, 667. That's good. Alright, so what you want to make sure as well is that your other canvas, this one that you made, we can probably rename it. Honestly, let's rename it to UI canvas. Is inside the Ezreal truck. This is just so that when you play, hit an object, shows the menu that's always in front of the. So unfortunately, my audio cut out after that, but I'm gonna go ahead and just describe what I was doing. So I created a game manager script, and with that I'm going to show you this is from a previous project that I had. I'm just going to scroll through it just to show how it looks like. You don't have to put everything in there, especially the D-pad part, the racing wheel D-pad fix. That doesn't work. It was just me fiddling around with a previous project and trying to get the racing wheel D-pad to work, but I kind of just gave up on that since it wasn't exactly necessary for the project. It was more of a last minute addition attempt. Afterwards, I went ahead and created the restart menu UI, and just follow along on how I did it, especially with the game manager script location on each UI panel. You kind of just click and drag the buttons on the game manager script sections as needed, but you can just follow along. I'm just gonna let the audio cut off after this. Next thing you want to go is, let's first go to the start menu. Let's go to the on click. We'll go to here and drag our game manager script. Let's go to game manager script play. This is for the start menu button. And for the restart menu, you can just go to restart button. Do the same thing. Restart. And there you go. You can drive the truck around. But of course, next, what we need to do is make it so that when we, collide with the tree, it prompts the restart. So what we can do is, I have the trees in this folder right here. I have all the trees in a folder. What we're going to do is give all of these trees hitboxes. So I'm just gonna hold shift, select all of them, add components. After all the trees are selected, we're gonna add a tag to them. Let's create the tag. We'll call this tag enemy. Alright, so add this tag. We'll select everything again. Give it the tag enemy. And for all of these, we'll add mesh collider. Let's see, we can make the mesh, let's see how the mesh colliders look like. Let's start with one, because sometimes the mesh collider can be kind of buggy. So we'll go to this tree first. Let's see how the collider looks for this. Add component, mesh collider. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, we'll add mesh colliders to all of these then. Let's go ahead and go to all of these. Give them all mesh colliders. Also make sure that for the mesh collider that they convex and is triggered. Alright, next we go to the actual truck. Go to the electric truck. Here's its rigid body. I have this script called collider test. It's a very simple script. Basically what happens, if other game object which is tagged enemy. So basically, so what we use is an on trigger collider, and which basically does is if the truck were to make contact with any body collider or object that's tagged enemy, it'll trigger the if is game over, which will make it true, and then it freezes the game, which is the time scale equals 0f, which means that everything stops moving. The audio listener pause is true, which means that the truck noise turns off, and then it goes to the game manager and it shows the game over screen. And this print enter is just used for testing that it works in the actual console itself. So what we do, go to display screen, select it, go to any tree we want, bam. As you can see here, I think I messed up on where the play and restart stuff are at, so we can just go back to the buttons. Here's restart button. Go to in-game again. Just make this the restart button, game manager restart. So let's just put that in the menu button. Yeah, let's just rename this menu button. Menu button. Main menu. We'll just give it that script instead. So just go here, on click, game manager. Let's give it the restart function. We'll just give this the restart button, the play function. Alright, that should work. It's the menu button. Do fix that later. For now, though, what's important is being able to make this in-game, because you can see if you were to use it in VR right now, the overlays are not visible. So what we have to do is go to our canvas, back to our canvas, and then we have to make it, instead of an overlay, we make it a world space object. We kind of ignore this. Keep vertex color gamma, yeah, yada yada yada. Alright, let's make this smaller. Edit the scale, so we can just do this at like 0.0013, 0.0013, 3, and then do like 0.001. That way, and we're just changing the scale of it. Nope, that's if I can find it. There you are. Always make it a little bit bigger. 001, 002, 0023. You can just sort of just drag it down. Put her that way. Let's get a bit closer. So I'm having a bit of clipping issues. Alright, one error you may notice is how we're getting the invalid operation exception. To fix that, you can just go to Input Manager. You can go to your project settings, player, and then look for active input handling. Just change that to both, and then you're going to have to restart the truck. Alright. Just go ahead and drive, but yeah. Here we are. And there you go. Once you hit a tree, give you the option to show you another menu. Yeah, that's all you really need to create a simple project like this. In the long term, you do want to use the newer Unity input system, but for just the sake of demonstration, you know, it works perfectly fine for simple projects like this. You know, for like school, personal experimentation, it's perfectly fine. In your console, you'll probably see some errors like main camera does not track post driver. We're only gotta worry about that. It's just the cameras, other cameras that we kind of ignored. But yeah, the very next thing I'm going to do is show you how to use a Logitech SDK, which you will need to download from the asset store again, and you will need Logitech Wheel Hub. Logitech G Hub, my bad.